Action.
Action?
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Hustlin Horsepower channel. I can't say I'm overly enthusiastic today. I'm kind of tired. I worked all night. Then I fell asleep in the break room here.
In the race car seat.
In the race car seat from like 7 to 11?
Probably.
7 to 11-ish. But in today's video, we're going to walk you through the steering, at least most of it. Because occasionally, I just have a tendency of getting rid of you guys for a little bit so I could actually get some work done. But we're going to basically walk through the process of how to make this do that. So
wait, is it not hooked up to the actual wheels or to the rotors? Oh, it is.
the whole axle is just moving back and forth because I don't have the wishbone in the bars and stuff.
Yeah.
So I wanted it to. I took it all off last night as I was doing some other stuff.
See how important all that other stuff is? Otherwise your axle would be just floating all over the place.
I don't know if it'd be flowing all over the place. I think you just crashed like instantly.
Yes. I was thinking like as you were just driving it in and out of the trailer.
You wouldn't make it in and out of the trailer. You wouldn't make it 5 feet.
Hmm.
You might have a half-ass chance if your shocks were completely bottomed out. Because the way I do the shocks, it kind of helps center the axle. But like,
You'd be screwed.
you'd probably be screwed.
Okay.
But yeah, so I went through, and in the video here, I go through the whole steering and stuff like that, making the steering shaft. We're using Flaming River U-joints on this car. They're pretty good quality stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain things that like you just don't want to skip out on. So in the video, yeah, this is in the video and everything like that, right?
Yes.
Making this piece and everything like that. So that the whole steering column's in there. It's pretty comfy and everything like that. It is. You could look in there and show it kind of ish. Give them a little sneak peek. Woo.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's all in there.
Cutting out the hole for the steering column. Oh yeah, the brackets.
It's not fully welded in yet or nothing like that. So yeah, in this video we go through the whole operation there, and I did most of it, but you get a pretty good idea on how to go through and do the steering on the car. So I appreciate everyone that likes and subscribes to the channel. Maddy's gonna upload this video, and we're gonna go sit in some AC for a little while because it's like 95, 98 degrees, and like
humid.
110% humidity because like
It rained yesterday and it rained again today. The sun came out after raining today. So
and I'm
it's miserable.
it's time for me to go sit down in the air conditioning for a little bit and get a couple good sweet teas in me, so I could clock back in for third shift. I might even take a nap in the restaurant. I don't even know. Do they have booths there?
No, I don't think they do.
Damn.
But I got a passenger seat in my car.
Yeah, I'll be sleeping for the 15-minute ride there and a 15-minute ride back. I might even maybe we'll just leave your car running for a little bit. Because the toter home, the AC on the toter home, decided to quit yesterday morning. So
But the replacement part's on the way.
it's on its way. So here we are, back in progress. So right now I want to start working on the steering. Race Cars and Snacks and Maddy worked on the mid plate. We did that. That was in a video. We'll probably post this while we're up in New York. So we are still looking for some parts. We are looking for, what are we looking for? Double bead lock wheels, 15 by 12 or 15 by 14, somewhere between there. Chevy bolt pattern, 5 by 4 3/4. Backspace doesn't overly matter overly much. Anything from like 4 to 6 inches, I guess you could say. We're looking for a good 4-inch big block Chevy crank. We're looking for good quality used .842 and also 903 lifters. What else? Some 27 or 28 inch tall bias ply front runners. Big block Chevy 9.8 deck blower manifold. I prefer like a Mice or an Indy, something with a slightly longer intake runner, something that's a little bit better in the RPM range that we work in. But right now, getting back to it, we're working on the steering. Right now, you can see it's marked out in here. You can see those plates in there. Turned out pretty cool, ain't they? They fit in there like freaking beautifully. Don't mind the rusty body. This thing's pretty cool. So this is where the steering column is going to go through. I've decided I'm going to move this over just like a ½ inch or so, ½ inch off center. That'll give me a little bit more room for the trick flow aluminum block that's going to be going in this car before too long. Pete at HED is working on that deal, and that deal there has it has a fitting down here, and the way it is, it's just a little bit tight. So I'm going to move it over somewhere between a ½ inch, 3/8 of an inch, something like that. So I'm going to go in there and hole punch it. Maybe I'll set you up in the tripod in here as I do this. It's not going to be pretty work. It's going to be just like all this stuff. It's just work. And it just comes down to how bad you want it. And we're trying to go racing in a couple weeks now, so it's starting to come along. We're going to steering in, and then when we get back in town, I'll probably start working on brakes and gas pedal and stuff like that. So it's coming along. I'm excited for this hot rod. It's going to be pretty bad mamma jamma. I got like a pimple inside my nose, or a freaking burn inside my nose, and it's pretty about bugging me the last couple days.
Maybe from welding, like a spark or something like that. Get it?
I don't know, probably. So guys, here we are. Come in here, I guess. So here we are. We're test fitting everything. Put the hole in the mid plate. Come on, Maddy.
I want to get like a front view of you.
No.
Oh, you got.
They don't need to see that stuff.
All right.
We'll delete that out of there.
You got your hole in the mid plate.
Hole in the mid plate.
Woo!
I think the next seat we make, I'm gonna put this a little bit higher. Then we'll shrink or stretcher a nice lip here, so I have a nice little spot to rest my elbow. Because I like resting my elbow here, and like
you can't really.
You can rest your elbow here, because like that bar sits back here. The bar sits like that, you know? So, like I could rest my elbow here, but
nice catch.
That's just asking for a broken elbow. So I want to have my elbow sitting right here. Boom. Right there. So this is pretty comfy here. Boom, boom, boom. Nice operating angle for my steering arm, whether it's here. Oh no! Okay. But now, come in here. These zip ties, believe it or not, are temporary.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm gonna make a piece.
You don't actually race with your zip ties holding up your steering wheel?
I need a couple more zip ties in here to add a little bit more strength to it. But I'm working on making a piece here. We'll walk over there. So this is 1 5/8 tubing, and this is 2-inch tubing. So I got a couple pieces. I think I got 2-inch tubing and 1 5/8 tubing that I'm gonna cut down and half moon it. You know what that means?
It looks like a half moon.
What does that mean?
Like this?
No.
Oh. I don't know what that means. No idea.
I guess so. I'm cutting this tubing down the center. But I'm actually doing
it. Like
lengthwise, okay? Down put. This one will fit this way. And this one will fit this way. Right?
Yeah.
Then there'll be a little stublet in between them that I'll weld up and fabricate just like I did on the other car. Right? A little like 1-inch diameter tubing here. Now there'll be 2 clamps here. And 2 clamps here.
And that'll hold your steering on.
I'll hold the steering on. Some good T-bolt clamps there and there. Be plenty strong. A lot of people don't understand, but like, even on some like funny cars and stuff like that, they actually use good like clamps. They don't actually bolt the motor to the chassis.
The motor?
They clamp it. They clamshell it.
Okay.
Like a half moon clamshell. And it sits over here. And they put a clamp on it.
Why?
I think it's to allow the chassis to flex. That's what I think.
That's what I was thinking. Or like what I would guess, but
like a lot of blown alcohol, like funny car style cars, they clamp them in there. So it's plenty strong. So I could weld it in there if I wanted to, but then guess what?
You can't take it out if you need to, like we
You
have
take
done.
it out and it's this and that. It's a
Like
pain in the
we've,
butt and-
yeah, done
But
multiple
like,
times.
the way this is, when this pops out, you know, I mean, plenty of room. Want to get big. Want to get those pig intestines? And
Oh, yeah.
get another big belly. I'll have room to get in the car still.
You'll gain weight.
I don't know, probably not. So that's it like that. So those are gonna go in here. So how did I go about that? That wasn't smart. Let's go. Oh, here's one right here. Leaving stuff all over the place. So I go like this
Not
here.
surprised.
Go like this here. And I marked it right here and there. So I didn't mark it down the center. I marked it offset. So we have about 3/4 overlap.
Okay.
Right? And then I left enough here and here that we could put a 1-inch tube in here, and there's still, or inch and a quarter tubing, whatever we want to use, whatever we have laying around, and have enough room for our 1/2-inch clamps on there, right?
Yeah.
So I go in here, and I go like this over here, and I go zoop zoop zoop. I was like, what the hell? That's not straight, because I had this piece upside down because it didn't cut perfectly straight. I think Maddy cut that one. So
Could've.
So instead of having it like this, I was like, man, that's crooked. Man, that's crooked. It must be upside down. So I flip it. Boom. Perfect line. So you gotta come over here and get my glasses. Now that I got my glasses, I gotta get my saw. Don't be showing people. Can't be showing them my hot rod. Not yet. Not yet. So,
I don't think I did. I might have.
maybe you did. And then, see how we got this clamped here
Yeah.
and not here? That means there's no stress here, right? So, don't stand there. But... Boom. Bam. Well, one. What line do we cut?
Pick a line, any line.
Pick a line in lane, something that looks straight. I'm thinking this outside line looks the straightest. We'll go with the outside line. Inside line or outside line?
I don't know. Is that the
Pick one.
Is that the flat side or is the other side the flat side?
No, this is the crooked line. Want to go to the inside or outside? I don't remember what one I marked.
Well, reference it from the.
We'll go with the outside line. Watch out. Woohoo! Go Nelly. He's a wild man. Help us save us. What was it? Star Kids or something?
Yeah, it is.
What was it?
Spy Kids.
Spy Kids. Oh no! I hope I cut the right one. If not, you could learn.
That's what I said. Reference it off the.
I don't think it was supposed to be that one. But. So this is our 1 5/8 tubing, right? See how that fits in there? Boom.
Yep.
See? Perfect radius. See how that one fits in there? Not a lot of material. So we're gonna go get the piece that we're going to be using. Boom. See how that looks?
Yeah.
Look at it. It's about as good as a fitment on my mid-plate piece. Right? Now we're...
The front plate?
Hey, I screwed this one up a little bit. This one's a little bit taller. It should have been bigger, but whatever. Let's go see if they work. Gotta move our factory frame rails. Okay. So, this sucker's gonna fit up in there like that. And that sucker's gonna fit on there like that. Beautiful, right?
Huh?
Beautiful, right?
Yeah.
You don't think it's beautiful?
No, I do.
I thought it looked beautiful.
The fitment on them is very nice.
So, I went just a little bit past over-centered. It's like, I don't know, 5/8. Instead of like 180 degrees, it's probably like 230 degrees. Just a little past centered.
So, is this gonna line up right?
Yeah.
With? Okay. Okay.
I'll go right over here.
Once the zip ties are removed.
Does it up in there? Does it up in there like that? And then, woo, 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 woo. Oh no! Oh no! Good thing we're not YouTube superstars, because they'd be thinking we're idiots right now. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! We're just gonna put that like that for right now. So, I got to make a piece. I think I like the steering wheel there. Gotta make sure I don't want to lift it up. Okay, guys, and when you're welding these suckers on, okay, when you weld these suckers on, I'm not gonna take it all apart now, but this big spline here, line it up with your mark on your steering wheel, okay? So then you don't look like an idiot trying to put your steering wheel on. And then when you go down there to put your joint in, your cross bolt, like I cut down a 5/8 bolt, because this is a 3/4 inch tubing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a 5/8 bolt. Cut down a 5/8 bolt, like a 4 inch long 3/8 bolt, because it has like an 1.5 inch shank on it. Ground it all down, and I welded it inside the tube so that it's no longer a tube, it's got a solid piece. So it's nice and light, but it also has the solid end on it. Of course, you can machine something up as well, but I just welded it along the face, and then I put a couple rosette welds in it, and then I drilled my hole for the Flaming River U-joint on there. But when I drilled my hole in there, I indexed it to this joint here. So if it comes into a rush or something like that, let's say something gets tweaked or something like that. Nothing major, nothing this or that. Let's say something gets tweaked, or let's say.
Does that go into like aligning the car?
Yeah. Not well.
Like
Yeah. Well,
aligning
aligning the steering wheel itself.
Yeah.
Let's say something happens with, like, I don't know, I make an adjustment or something like that, and I want to line up my steering wheel, or even just from the start. I know that my bolt, the orientation of my bolt down there, by knowing what the steering wheel of my position is. So if I need to adjust it a little bit, you go like this. I can turn it a little bit, and I know the orientation of all my joints.
So it matches up. They all correlate. When that one's in a certain position, you know that this one's straight up and down.
Yeah, because like if you put this bolt in here like this way, and like your bolt's like it's not that big of a deal. But why not just do it right? It doesn't take any more time.
Yeah.
So, and guys, when you put on your steering wheel, there was one time I was racing Jeff Lutz on Drag Week, and guess what?
It popped off.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Not me. Jeff's steering wheel fell off.
Oh gosh. Which it's happened to other people at the tracks.
Oh, it happens to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it'll latch, but it doesn't fully latch. And that's when you go, give it a good couple. Once it latches, give it a couple good pulls. I think this is a strange one or something like that. This is a good quality one, but yeah, some of, especially like the dirt track guys ones, some of those things are kind of like, those things are kind of.
You think they latch and they pop off afterwards?
Those styles.
They aren't like
those have a check bolt. Those have a check ball in them. They have a check ball in them, and they just kind of crappy. So I'm gonna go through here and we'll orientate this and orientate that. And you got your tape measure on you? So I don't have mine on me.
Fired.
Sliding.
Got you a tape measure.
What is that distance?
Uh,
I can't even see either. What the hell, man? What kind of tape measure is this thing? about 1.5 inches. We'll have to cut off like a 2-inch piece and notch it.
Okay.
Alright, cool. We're done here.
Say hi to your people. Say hi, everybody. Oops.
So guys, here we are. This is the steering column here, and we just cut it off. We need to shorten it up a little bit. As you can see, when I built this, I TIG welded what is actually a bolt inside of there, and you can see somewhere in there, there's a couple of rosette welds on it. You can see a rosette weld there and a rosette weld there. That's to help keep it into place. So here we use a pretty thin wall tubing. This is probably like 048, but I'm pretty sure it's almost, yeah. So when we slide this bolt in here, we'll have a nice tight fit here. So we're gonna go through, chuck this up, we're gonna cut the head off and cut the threads off. Then we'll be able to put this in here and we'll weld this in here. So when you have a 1/4-inch bolt in here on a 048 tubing, it's gonna waddle these holes out and get it nice and big. As you can see here, this was in the Dirty 30, this was in the Homegrown Hustler, and it's still a normal perfect hole in there. So if we would have ran it as many times as we did without having that sleeve in there, these holes would have been oblong, and then your steering doesn't work nearly as properly. Now we're using the lathe here because the lathe is accessible. When I did all this stuff, I did it with an angle grinder and just an angle grinder, just a cutoff wheel. But now that we have access to the stuff, it makes it a little bit easier, but it's still able to get the job done either way. So now that I cut this off, we got a nice straight hole here. Then this guy's gonna go on here. I gotta clean up the burr in there a little bit and clean up these burrs here. But this guy will slide on there. But if we put a bolt simply through there, this guy is eventually going to start wiggle wobbling around because it's going to bore. That hole is going to get oblong. So we're going to go through here and I'll show you the process. Where's he at? There he is. Oh my goodness. Hey, little buddy. That's wild looking. Do you think you got pooped on by a lightning bug or something? Rex, where's your safety glasses? We got the steering wheel in, column in, bolted, mid plate in. It's all set up. Yeah, that's about right height right there. Maybe. But it takes a whole lot to get the steering that tight. But that's about as tight as I'm going to get it with the slip shaft. I run a double D slip shaft in there. The reason for the double D is it's a whole lot more robust. Splines are nice, but like let's say you go with something like, let's say I don't know, a 13 spline or whatever. Let's say 13 splines or something like that. You have 13 slides on there that have to be perfectly smooth so it doesn't bind up. And a slip shaft, like in a drive shaft or something like that, where it's bolted on the front and bolted in the back, that's one thing. But for something like steering, I like the double D slip shaft. I like the double D slip shaft a lot more. There is that little bit of doo. It's almost nothing. I got that little bit of slop in there because of the double D, but that double D is a whole lot more robust, and the chances of having any type of tension when that slip shaft goes through its movements is very, very minimal. I do go through and I take that off occasionally, like once a month, not every race, but I do go through that and I clean it all out, make sure there's no dirt in it. I do run a rubber boot on there, and I I don't grease it up because grease absorbs grit and stuff like that. But I do clean it out, and I'll lube it up, and I'll spray some type of coating on it and make sure that thing slides in there really nice and smooth. And as you can see or didn't see, no, I didn't put it in the video yet. I'll do it once I get an adjustable setup on here. Sorry guys, I'm getting a little bit I should probably had you guys in the background here while I was talking, but hey, whatever, it is what it is. That's why I'm not going to be a YouTube superstar. No, but it takes a little bit to get all these joints in line and everything working, so that when this car goes through its full range of motion, that steering wheel doesn't turn. It's a little bit of a process, and it's not something I could really walk you through. It's just something that you have to play with. I'm sure there's someone out there that is like boom, 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 this is where you got to put it. For me, it takes a little bit of time to figure out where the joints want to be and stuff like that. And some people just wouldn't give a crap. But for me, I want to know that if I put that car straight, if I put that steering wheel at 12 o'clock, that through the whole range of motion, both down and up, that steering wheel isn't going to change. And when it doesn't change, the toe doesn't change. So there is a possibility that when it rolls up and down, that it could change if I did the steering differently, but it all works as it's supposed to. So I don't know what I'm gonna work on next. Maybe get some welding done. I don't know. It's probably about 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, and I'm not quite tired yet, so I'm gonna get some work done on this thing. Front plate's all all in there, fitted, so on and so forth, and we're looking in not good shape, but we're making progress.